Queridos amigos, gracias por estar con nosotros. Esto es Cubículo Estratégico, nuestro programa donde hablamos con las grandes personalidades del mundo de los negocios, la economía y las finanzas. Hoy no es la excepción. Aquí en el estudio nos acompaña el señor Sato Kensuke. Él es director general de Casio México. Casio, bueno, pues una de las empresas japonesas más importantes en materia de productos electrónicos. Queremos agradecerle mucho que esté con nosotros. Mr. Kensuke, how are you? Thank you.
Good, thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunities.
Thank you for being here. First question, what is Casio? I remember Casio being a producer of watches,
Exactly.
but I think it's much more bigger than that.
Yeah. When I look back at the histories of the Casios, we have been established in the year of the 1957s. And we are very strong at digital technologies, and we have developed many world-first products into the market, like calculators, handy calculators, and digital watches, and digital cameras, and musical instruments, and digital dictionaries, and so on.
Are you still that, or you've been growing to a much broader spectrum of
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we are growing up. Yeah.
Where is this company based? Where do you produce your products?
So of course, our company is capitalized in Japan. So we are, the stocked companies in Tokyo, and our factories nowadays, most of the factories are located in China, and we have been producing the consumer products like watches, and calculators, and dictionaries, and musical instruments, and digital cameras.
In your history, why is it that Casio became so famous a few decades ago?
I think that first of all, we are very much, curious and keen about, developing the new products into the world, and also we are producing very, the good quality products. So as well as having a new concept and new marketing strategies, with all those efforts that we are fortunately having very much supported by the consumers.
Yeah. You've been talking about calculators, innovations, and all these high-profile products, and I see that you have here some of your products. So what is it? It shows one of them.
Yeah.
What is it, and what's the technology behind
Thank
it?
you. So those calculators, which we are very much stressed on, are trying to help the educations, by using our products, should be one of the good tools for the educations, particularly into the mathematics and the sciences.
So this is this like for primary school, for secondary school, or which?
This is for university level.
University level.
It's showing the graphic, by the scientific, and we put formulas, and it's showing the shape of the graphics on the screens.
Yeah. Is this an expensive product?
Not that expensive. It's like, this one is like 1,500 something, pesos.
Pesos.
Yeah.
Right.
So compared with the PC, I think it's very, the cost performance products.
How is the market for calculators? Because we have seen that computers are getting cheaper, and they have also lots of mathematical functions, and you have these products that are more, they are more handy, they're more devoted to a classroom, for example, or whatever. But how do you cope with this competition of different products?
I think that, even now, there are many businessmen and students, who are sometimes using the PC, but beside that PC, there's calculator. Because the PC is good for making a very, the complicated, the operations, but sometimes we need to calculate simply. Yeah. And in that sense, there almost all peoples are still using the calculators. And also, if we think about, these particular products, as I told you, this is really cost-effective products, and especially for the students, even they have a budget, and right now, even computers is getting cheaper, but it's like 10,000 pesos, something like that, to purchase it.
Do you think, as for the developed markets vis-a-vis the emerging markets, these kind of products are more devoted to emerging markets like Mexico, or they're sold all over the world without distinction between which type of market they are being sold?
Yes, not particularly in Mexico, but also all over the world. We have the same tendencies, and what we are going to do is to implement using this the calculators as a good tool for the educations, especially to draw the attentions from the students to be more interested in science and mathematics.
When you think about your strategy, not only for calculators but also for the other products in Mexico, what is it? What's your strategy here in this country?
Yeah, of course, the Casio is well known about the kind of the very technological companies, and also we are providing the many epoch-making products into the world. But not only that, we have a company slogans as creativity and contributions. This is very important. We are manufacturers, but simultaneously we have to contribute by providing our products into the market to the societies.
What about watches?
Yeah, in the case of the watches, we are getting into the market by developing the digital watches into the world, and after that we have developed the tough watches G-Shock, which is still very popular.
That's very famous.
Yeah, that's very famous.
When did it come? Like last decade or in the 90s? Or when did it appear? This G-Shock is very famous, right?
Yes, still very famous, and now, particularly last year and this year, we got the big trend of the G-Shock because particularly younger generations, is getting more interested in about our products, because the watches, we have changed, the common sense that watch is easy to be broken.
Yeah.
And we took the way the reverse. That means if the watch is very tough, how convenient it is, because we can make a very the actions like the sports, and it can be durable for the tough uses.
Yeah, there's also this commonplace thought that watches should be made in Switzerland. But
yeah.
Where are your watches made? In China, in Japan? Well, I think it's Japanese technology, right?
Yeah, the technology itself has been developed in Japan, but now main production should be in China. Yeah.
Where is the market for watches? Is it in the young people? Is it in the old people? Is it in the emerging markets? Where is the opportunity?
I think we can cover all the generations, because we have many kinds of the watches. So our intention is to satisfy all the consumers who are using the Casio watches, and I like people to love our watches.
What is more difficult in a country like Mexico for a general manager like yourself? Is it the marketing? Is it the distribution? Is it just leveraging everything up to the consumer? What is the big challenge for you?
I think that from now, but from long time ago, Mexican market is very potential, and in our marketing strategy is one of the most important market here in Mexico, and I think we still have many rooms to increase our business, and I think we should have many opportunities for the peoples who has a fun of having the Casio products.
For example, having one watch is just quite a few. People should have many watches, or they should be buying watches like every couple of years or every 3 or 4 years, right?
I think that our watch itself is very much durable and having long life. So I think but the important point is that it's not so expensive. So they can enjoy changing the watches by the TPO.
Right.
So to be coordinated with fashions or clothes.
Right.
So,
would you ever consider having a manufacturing facility here in Mexico? Do you have some or not?
So far, no plan. Yeah.
How is your manufacturing? Only in China or also in Japan as well?
Also in Japan. Some are in Japan and some are in China.
And when you go to Tokyo, when you talk to your colleagues, what do they think about Mexico? Now you've been here only for for a few months, right? Like 2 or 3 months.
Right.
What did they ask you about, what do they think about our country?
I think that the name of the country of Mexico is very much familiar with Japan's, because I don't clearly remember, but we have very long-term relationship and friendship with the country of Mexico. So, of course, if we say about Mexico is a country of the tequila, is a country of the ponchos, and some, such kind of ethnic, the fashions, and also together Mexican people are very nice and very kind. So in that sense, I think we are very, how can I say, having a nice friendship with Mexican peoples, I think.
Yeah. So just to wrap up, what are your priorities? We are just returning to school in this country.
Right.
I guess calculators are important.
Yes, I like to emphasize those products. The reason why I brought these products, because we have just started our new programs. According to the latest informations that the test of the mathematics and science, the scoring in the world, out of 133 countries, Mexico is ranked 127th. So I feel it's a kind of pity. So what we can, we are thinking what we can do to contribute to the Mexicans' educational, the educations. And by having this, what we are doing right now is to have a kind of lab. That means that we are going to teach or train, the teachers through our, the fellow professors. Yeah. And first, we like all those teachers to try using this. And I think it may give some misunderstanding that if we are going to give the calculators, students will get lazy, but not, because it's going to draw the attentions from the students to be more interested in, and I want to make the trigger to get more involved. Why this is going to be happened?
It's a tool.
Right, it's going to be the tool.
We're running out of time, but I want to thank you so much for being with us here, and wish you luck in your new endeavor here in Mexico, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, señor Sato Kensuke, director general de Casio en México. Gracias a usted también por acompañarme aquí en Cubículo Estratégico. Nos vemos en la próxima. Hasta entonces.